agenda today. Before we get into those matters, I want to welcome our two new planning board members and colleagues to their first meeting. How lucky you are. Rachel Bridester and Shadi Khadivi. Welcome and welcome. You gotta get out of here, it's quite warm.
No, the air AC just kicked in.
Yeah,
It's just-
Yeah, so I'm gonna cool down in a minute.
Let's get started with conditional use permit number 0073 for 352 State Street, also. I believe that's on the corner of 209 Lark. Is the applicant here? No.
I'm representing Sky Spirits.
Okay, do you want to present?
I'm just here to answer any questions. I mean, I can, but if you, I don't know if you had a chance to take a look at the PowerPoint or not.
We did, but then staff can, we can go through some notes and highlights. This is not something that we will need to act upon today, but we do need to run the traps to make sure that it is heard publicly. I'll turn it over to planning staff to see if there are any comments that they would like to make on the application. And then we can go through the board and see if there are any additional comments.
I would just recommend if you are able to briefly go through the presentation, since it is a public hearing, that'd be helpful.
Put me on
We
the
also,
spot.
we use 3 minutes, so.
So I'm gonna first, in my defense, say I didn't know I was coming here today, so I don't know how prepared I'm gonna be, but Jesse was called out of town unexpectedly. So do you want me to stand up? Oh, go to okay.
Make sure the green light's on.
It is.
Yes.
So the property that we're talking about is 352. You can see it's right there in the corner. They've been doing it's on the corner of State and Lark Street, and it goes downstairs. It's a small little area right across the street from a liquor store. I think that's pretty much on that slide. This is the site plot plan and modification that they're proposing. So it's pretty straightforward. There's a bar, there's your exit there, I don't know if you have any questions on this slide or not, but it's pretty, the bathrooms on the bottom side. So that's the ground floor plan. Our hours of operation will be 7:30 to 2 o'clock in the morning, or in the afternoon, and then 4 to 11. And then on the weekends, we'll be open till 1 o'clock. We are going to be closed for a couple hours. The morning shift is, they're going to be offering like coffee. It's not going to be a tasting room. It's going to be a coffee, spa brewery. There's a young lady that, an entrepreneur, so she's going to be utilizing the space in the morning for us. And then we'll come in the afternoon and have our tasting room. We'll have 1 employee, those are the hours. We'll staff with 2 employees on the weekend. And we'll be open on Saturdays from 7 to 1. We'll have the 2 employees, but mostly it's going to be 1 employee. Obviously, Jesse or I will be on site, especially in the beginning, just to make sure that everything is running properly. Similar venues that are near us is Savoy, Lo-Fi Bar and Lounge, and the Loft. And we have these permits already in place. There isn't any noise, light, odors beyond the boundary, so there's none. And deliveries of large vehicles, they're not going to be there for any length of time, maybe 3 minutes tops. Our inventory is a small area. Our inventory is going to be very light, so we don't anticipate there being any issues as far as traffic holdup or anything like that. And then we made arrangements as far as trash storage and disposal with Capitol Hills Association. They are letting us utilize their existing trash storage and disposal capabilities. And then Waste Management will be picking up Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And we don't anticipate large volume of trash because we're not going to be offering prepared foods or anything like that. So it should be small quantities. And we'll have recycling for glass bottles and other. And that's it. That's all I got.
Great. Any questions from the board?
I have a question.
Sure.
For your drop-offs, where do you anticipate deliveries being dropped off? Because your side of the street is a one-way.
Yes. So in the front, unless we can make other arrangements, like I said, it's not gonna take, shouldn't take more than 3 minutes. And we're not gonna have deliveries, maybe twice a month, if that. It's a small area. I think the capacity of it is maybe 25 people tops, if that, so it's very small.
Right. I like how you clarified the trash thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, super helpful to see that.
Definitely.
Came in hot. Give you the opportunity to jump in.
I think I'm ready, so whatever you have, and whatever I can't answer you this evening, I'd be more than happy to supply you with that information. Thank you.
I guess my only question, and maybe I overlooked this when I was reviewing it earlier, I had somehow missed that you were serving coffee, and I wonder, you mentioned the comparable businesses, the Lo-Fi Bar and Savoy. Has there been any consideration of other coffee shops on Lark Street and how it may or may not?
There has been, so the hours of operation for the coffee is still kind of up in the air, right? So they approached us with that idea, and we're okay with it. She's a young woman, a young entrepreneur. We're looking to support that as well, but it's all in the works. So we put the hours of operation on there just so that you know what we're thinking. It might not happen. We're hoping it does. We're all about small businesses, and if we can utilize our space to help out another young lady, we're more than happy to do so.
All right. So we have a couple of public speakers. Is Douglas here? Charles? Either one? Are they online? We have Felton's written comments in the folder.
Am I dismissed? Am I dismissed?
Yes, please.
Oh.
Yes, please.
I want to take some of the seat.
Avi, anything from, or Justin, anything from a staff perspective?
I would say now, the questions that have been provided, we have asked the applicant, they have been provided, speaking specifically to trash. The other, just a point to make is, this is not a unique use of the site. There are additional bars and taverns and similar uses on York Street, and York Street provides a corridor for entertainment that includes shopping, arts, dining, nightlife, so this speaks to that as well. Avi?
Only other thing to add is that it requires the Albany County Planning Board referral, so we can't take action until we get that back, which is why we have down for recommending a deferral until we get that. So tonight is the public hearing, and at the next meeting would just be a meeting item.
Thank you for that. So for clarity, tonight is the public hearing portion for this particular project, and it will be back on the agenda after we get a ruling from the Albany County Planning Board. Council, anything? I mean, to put you on the spot, but I always like to check my lawyer before we.
Yeah. No, all my questions have been answered.
Thank you very much. And thank you. We can move on to our second and final piece on tonight's agenda, which is development plan review 0197. MLB development. Hirschberg, mixed use form based on slab. Conversion of 54,392 square feet out of 68,892 square feet. From commercial to a multi-unit dwelling containing 47 dwelling units and 67 parking spaces. This is again a development plan review, and it looks like we talked to you all last month a little bit about that. And let's do round two.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having us. I'm Damian Pinto Martin on behalf of MLB Development. Nick is here from Hirschberg and Hirschberg. I apologize that I wasn't able to be here last month. I ended up having some emergency kidney stone removal. Less than fun. Don't recommend. 0 out of 10. So I'm glad we got the opportunity to be here tonight. So we are looking at 97 Central. As you stated, we're looking to renovate the former corrections offices into 47 workforce housing units, along with some commercial space in the building as well, mixed use, hopefully some storefronts, hopefully some office users, and then, you know, good workforce housing contingent. We are focusing primarily on 1 and 2 bedrooms. We have 2 studios in there as well. And as I said, the real goal of this project is to truly target the workforce housing community. You know, rents will be between $875 to $1,100 a month on the high end. But we're kind of calling this market rate for all. You know, we anticipate that this will be a market rate equivalent project. We are doing that through a combinations of financing, including some HCR subsidies, historic tax credits, and then private investment by our private developer. And we do feel that there is an opportunity for both not-for-profits and for-profit developers to be in the workforce housing scene. MLB Development is newer to the Albany area. MLB Construction has been in the capital region for 75 years. 1947, started by 3 union graduates. But our development efforts actually began in the North Carolina offices that we have, and we're kind of beginning to continue to adapt that up here, and hopefully we'll be able to be a timely addition to the development community in a tough time right now, provide some of this housing, both between this project and the project we're doing today. So as to the specifics, we are in the MUFC zoning district, and again, I apologize if I'm going too fast. I know you guys have seen this. You know, that's the building there. Previous submission only included the parking lot to the left that you've seen previously. I know there was some concerns about parking. We do have a second lot that we've re-addended and re-included the Elk Street and Sherman Street lots there that you're seeing. We did receive some great comments from the planning department with regards to the USDO. I believe we've addressed all those comments with regard to planning, fencing, and proper addressing of the USDO requirements there, both for the main lot and the additional parking lot that we've added. You can see I don't believe we have any zoning requirements or any zoning variances that we're asking for.
No, I believe not.
So site coverage is everything is appropriate. You can see there the decorative fencing, the bicycle racks, and the parking that we're going to be providing along with the living areas. We do meet the requirements for the community space, both with bike storage and some rec rooms, and we do have We have additional sub-basement play space that is unprogrammed at the moment, so, potentially there's an opportunity to grow that space as well, both for community use or potentially tenant-based storage opportunities. You can see the red area is area that's going to be highlighted for future commercial use. This particular project, we're not looking to do any major exterior improvements or renovations. This is, I stated, a historic renovation, so we're living within the existing facade and side and rear setbacks, and we're not punching any additional windows in. We're using existing windows to provide our appropriate light as necessary for the units. There will be on-site laundry as well available for the tenancy. First floor plan, you can see where there are windows available. We have units where there's less windows. We have planned for commercial uses. There is a second story where there's it abuts a neighboring building, so that is also laid out for commercial, and then units where there are windows, and then the third and fourth floor stack with the layouts from here. So existing facade, we will be doing most likely repairs. There's a few sills that are cracked, concrete cast away sills that we're going to replace. We'll be doing some touch up to the features on the facade. And a little bit of repointing. There's probably about 15% of the area needs to be repointed. We are going to be replacing the roof too. It's a ballasted roof of age that would be replaced. A couple more things. We are going to update the lots, like we said initially. Seal coat on the front lot that's in good condition. Mill and pave on the rear lots that are a little bit in poor condition, and bring them up to landscaping. Other USDO requirements as stated.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Are there any questions from the board?
So I saw the difference between the last proposal and this proposal where you're not going to add any additional windows to it. It's past the additional parking is one of the very last slides. There we go.
Mhm.
You're saying you're not adding windows to that side?
We are not adding windows to that side. So that side is currently the stairwell and the elevator shaft.
Okay.
Where those first two are. So there's already existing circulation that meets our egress requirements in those two
Okay.
areas, which is why we don't plan to put any additional windows.
Okay, and then the question that we had last time that I'm not sure was fully answered was making the windows energy efficient, since you are rehabilitating a historic building, the windows are not, they don't meet today's standards, so how do you plan on mitigating that?
It's an interesting scenario
Okay.
that I will say skirts the line a little bit. These windows are double pane, more modern windows.
Okay,
Already with operation on the lower awning. They are not historic windows, and we did have to have a bit of a back and forth on the historic merit of the building, being that the windows were not original. That was actually a detraction from SHPO's initial point of view, but we luckily did have strong enough historic characteristics despite the windows to go for the historic standard. The windows were considered, not diminishing the historic value. So
okay,
we do have double pane, more modern windows that were replaced not too long ago when the offices were corrections offices.
oh, okay, so they're fairly new.
Yeah, they're double
windows.
pane sealed windows.
Oh,
which,
okay.
I don't know if they necessarily meet the full 2018 requirements, but they would meet probably the 2012 or 2015 previous energy requirements. Now there are a few that are cracked here and there that will be replaced on
Okay.
a paint by paint basis, so that they're all consistent and sealed, and then any gasketing or things of that nature will be upgraded as well.
Okay. And how many elevators do you have in there? You said
There's two elevators.
okay,
Yeah, there's a front and rear elevator and a and the rear elevator is actually sized for cargo in addition to passengers.
Okay,
So it's nice for moving in.
and so now with the new back parking,
Mhm.
would it be entrance for people who park back there to get in?
Mhm.
And will it have, I'm assuming it will have adequate lighting, safety, things of that nature.
Lighting, security cameras, all of that included, both on the rear. And the front. And yeah, key fob access, similar to like a hotel,
Okay,
you know, for swiping.
I couldn't figure out where the back entry was.
So if you, I don't know if you can zoom in on the right image or not.
Or maybe go to the plans.
If you go to the plans, yeah,
Would it be from the basement level?
yes. So the elevation, the
The grade.
grade drops.
So where
So
is the
that, on the top right there, that's actually a garage bay that you can pull a full-size U-Haul into. There's an overhead door there. And there's, if it's not this story, it might be the sub-basement story that has a man door right at the back of those stairs as well.
is that it right there,
Wait.
that X?
Can you go back? to-
No, that's an elevator. Where is the man door? Maybe it's not drawn. I can double check with Harris Sanders on that about making sure that door. There is a man door on the back side. I don't know if you're able to
By the
jump on
fitness center?
Google or not.
By the fitness center?
No, it's actually closer to the garage door.
Are you allowed to use garage doors?
No,
for
you
egress?
can't. No, there's a man door at the stairwell.
There's a man door.
There is a man door. I don't know if we're able to jump on Google Maps or not. I apologize for not having.
And will there be overhead protection at the proper entries for snow?
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, there's the man door.
Show me.
Nope, that's not our building. Next one to the right. There it is.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, there's the,
Oh, you went too far.
Sorry?
well, there's no, interestingly enough,
Yeah.
Street View disappears for like a few hundred feet here. I don't know why, but
There
it's
it
right,
is, right
right there on the left.
Right, so will you be adding overhead protection?
We can.
Because typically with the main egress,
Mhm.
you're gonna have to have overhead protection and lighting.
No worries, we can add that. I'm happy to make that a stipulation.
But what I don't understand is how it fits in, like, I can't quite figure out where it fits in with the plan.
Yeah, I'll double check with Harris.
Because it
Sanders
looks like
on
it's
that.
in the gym area.
I'll double check with them on that. If we need to do a reorganization, we can certainly make that change.
Right,
It does look like it
It's
was
like in the
during
gym
fitness center,
right.
but we'll be able to, if we need to push the fitness centers forward, take that first lane of office and create a corridor, we'll be able to do that, right? So there's a straight egress from the stairwell.
Right.
I'm gonna throw Harris Sanders on the bus for that.
And then, so then there's a couple other entries, right? So there's the ramped entry on the top left, right?
Yeah, the main entry.
From the
is-
first floor.
Yep.
And then what about from the parking lot? I saw two doors. If you go to parking lot level. By the ADA access,
Don't
you look
think
again,
there are any doors on.
go
the
up.
Parking lot side.
But if you look at if you look at the civil drawing, there's two egresses here.
Sliding back to those, I apologize. A few slides to the rear, further back.
I think it's just, this drawing needs to be coordinated with your plan.
That might need to be the case.
Because right now, it doesn't look like there's doors. Right. Or at
You're
least the
talking about
version I
this.
have.
If you're talking about the hashed sections,
Yeah, well, in the version that I have that was uploaded from the drawings from this.
to, yeah, to my knowledge, there's no doors on the parking lot side. You would either have to come to the rear or to the front for access, both of which will end up being handicap accessible. But I'll confirm that, get that coordinated for sure.
Okay.
So we had shared the prior iteration of the site plans. The most recent iteration that was submitted from Hirschberg on 10/2 sort of combined the new parking lot and the prior. So details from the prior set having made it to that. We have that addressed in our comments, but
Okay.
so they have to, so the final site plan has to be updated to show some details that are left out.
Understood.
And then There was a couple questions I had in the plans. It looks like the bedrooms have no windows.
The bedrooms have transom windows to the main living area.
Okay, and it meets the lighting requirements?
It does.
Yeah.
And then the new energy code also requires forced air ventilation to all bedrooms regardless of their exterior windows. So we'll be providing forced air makeup through ERV systems to those bedrooms as well.
And then there was a couple plans on the second floor, I guess, on A1, drawing A1. There's like a bedroom with no window, nothing. So if you go to the plans on A1, it's just double check it, go up. Yeah, on the bottom left, you see how there's a window on the left room, but on the right room, I don't think there's a window. Bottom left,
I can confirm.
and then go to the right, there's no window there.
I'll confirm that that is code appropriate.
Yeah.
You know, just to make sure.
Just to
I
make
think
sure.
I think there is an allocation for it pending fresh air ventilation, but I'll confirm.
Okay. And then your elevator, obviously, because it's so big, meets the structure requirement for ADA. if
Yes,
somebody needs to come
the
out.
rear elevator meets the structure requirement. The forward elevator does not. But that's, luckily we have 2 elevators in this instance.
And are you required to have ADA accessible units?
So it is a historic renovation, so we're exempt from
You're
type B units.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
That's-
Yeah.
My only question was more of a thought than a question, but looking at the community space, just thinking, I'm not sure that I fully appreciate like what it's like in the sub basement, but thinking of like the community space or space where people gather being in the sub basement. I just wonder about like why the choice to be down there and what are there cameras, is there lighting? Thinking from a single woman perspective, like going down to be in community space. Just if you could talk a little bit about how that's designed or how that's done.
Absolutely. It's tough to visualize, and I understand the sentiment without being able to see it, but the sub basement still has 10-foot high ceilings. This building was originally built as fireproof storage in like 1912, 1913. It was one of the first full concrete buildings. I can go into the whole historic reasons why it's historic if you feel like it's not the time for it. But it does have reasonable high ceilings. Also, both elevators do go all the way down to the sub basement. There's no stairwell required access, so you can go all the way down. It does not feel like a sub basement. It is, even with all of our financing sources and the way that we're putting the package together, the rents that we're targeting still make it a little tricky to give up some of the upper window space while making the project work. So, our compromise was to take a space that is still spacious and usable, and be able to allocate, some area to that with appropriate security cameras, the appropriate lighting as well, while still, again, providing a sleeker, upscale modern apartment finish, for those target rents.
And the area that currently is not designated in the sub basement will still be well lit. And
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
I'm good. Good. I started it.
You guys covered those questions.
All right, I see a note on here about the Albany County Planning Board and their recommendation for review of permits by your State Department of Transportation. Have you all received that recommendation from them? I'm assuming you have, and have you responded yet?
But I'm not sure. I will check with Dan on that one.
I know we received their approval pending that, right?
I'm not
I
sure.
remember I went to the Albany County Planning Board meeting as well, and I'm almost positive we had approval pending that one item, and I'm sure there's a paperwork issue associated with it.
So just in speaking with our city's traffic engineer with APD. It's not actually a requirement. It's not something that would typically go to them. The city maintains that roadway. In fact, it was put as the state would kind of laugh at us for submitting that. It's not something they're actually going to review or want to review at this point.
Let you off the hook.
I'll take it.
So for our action today, we are considering approval with condition. The condition being that prior to the issuance of the building permit, final approval shall be obtained by the Department of Water and Water Supply. Staff, are any comments we make before I seek a motion?
I just want to call it out. We're looking for these items and I can share this with Nick on the final site plan.
Okay, with no further comment, is there a motion to approve with the condition of the approval of the Department of Water and Water Supply on that building permit for the issuance? We will be conditionally approving the development plan. Is there a motion? So moved. Ms. Gilliard moves. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Very much. It has been moved and seconded. Are there any questions on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those that don't approve, say no. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to coming back for the next one.
Absolutely.
Get this one done first.
All right, is there any additional business that is not on the agenda that we need to address? If not, I would love to entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. There's a second. Seeing no disagreement, this meeting is adjourned.